Just the man I want to see. Make yourselves at home. I'll be right in.
Take it easy, girl. Your old buddy's on his way in.
Lassie. Thanks, Corey. You know that I didn't get a bite all morning. Those fish are getting too smart. How's he treating you, Lassie? If you got any complaints, you just spill them to old Andy.
You better watch it. You might get a whole list.
Seems like I'm going to get a list anyway. Now, haven't you got more important things to do than to nose around finding fault with my little place?
Maintaining safe conditions is one of our most important jobs. You know as well as I do that this place does not come up to our safe standards.
Sure I do.
I told you last year you'd have to make repairs.
I remember.
Now look, Andy, I know the business hasn't been very good. I don't want to be hard on you,
But if I don't make these repairs, you're going to recommend that my use permit be revoked.
That's about the size of it.
Listen to him. He can't wait to chuck poor old Andy out into the cold.
Oh, come off it.
Now, before you work yourself into an official lather, I got something I want to show you. Contractor fella, drew this up for me. New boathouse, general store, and extend the dock another 20 feet. In no time at all, Paradise Lake is going to be the showplace of your district.
Sounds pretty ambitious.
Is that all you got to say?
Also sounds very expensive.
That's all taken care of. The bank's going to loan me the money. Of course, there's a few wrinkles I got to smooth out first before the carpenters start hammering.
Anything I can do to help?
Oh, I wish you could. But it's outside your jurisdiction.
The lake?
Lake's acting strange. Real strange. All of a sudden, no fish. Like they just packed up and went someplace else. All that beautiful trout, gone. In all my years up here, I never seen anything like it.
That's a problem for the state fish and game people. You ought to have a talk with them.
I'm way ahead of you. I put in an application to the state hatchery for artificial stocking. They're going to come and they're going to fill that lake with trout. In no time at all, it's going to be like it used to be, the best darn fishing in these mountains.
Has the state definitely committed themselves to stocking the lake?
Well, they got a few formalities they have to go through. But I'm expecting a letter any day now. The minute I can show the bank that there's fish in that lake, I can pick up the money and start remodeling. Why, with this extended dock, I can put in 10, 12 boats. I'm going to need them, too.
All right, Andy. You let me know as soon as you hear from the state.
The minute I get the letter saying they're ready to go ahead.
Okay. Okay, come on, Lassie.
Any day now. Any day.
Yeah, and I saw Andy. Poor old Andy.
Hasn't fixed the place up yet, has he?
No, and I'm afraid he never will.
If you'll excuse me for saying it, Corey, I think you're being far too lenient with the old man.
Yeah, you've got a right to your opinion.
Just doesn't make sense the way you're letting him get around you. Paradise Lake is a valuable area. If he can't make use of it, give it to somebody that can. Somebody that'll spend some money, fix it up, maybe put in a new lodge. As far as that goes, you could even put in that new campground you've got in the multiple use plan. You'll never do it while Andy's there.
You want my job?
I didn't say that.
No, but you say I'm too lenient with Andy. All right? I'm going to let you make the decision as to whether I recommend that his use permit be revoked or not.
Now, wait a minute. I'm only an assistant ranger. I don't make decisions like that.
Sit down. Now, you're going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong. But first, you're going to know the facts. Andy McGrew came out here to die. That was maybe 15 years ago. Retired school teacher, no family, all alone in the world. Sick man, ready to cash in his chips. Coming out here to look at mountains that he had never seen before. And an odd thing happened. The mountaineer agreed with him and he got well. So he stayed. He invested all of his money in that dock. Ran it pretty well, too, until that lake started to act up. He got along fine with the tourists. Especially kids and animals.
Well, like Andy, he's a nice old guy. But isn't it your duty to see that every facility in this district is used to best advantage?
That's what the book says. But what happens to Andy if he loses Paradise Lake?
Well, I don't know. I never thought of it quite like that.
His whole life is tied up in that dock. You take that away from him and you take away all meaning and purpose for living. What's your decision?
Is there something we can do to help the old man?
I'm afraid not, Hank.
Well, there's got to be something.
Our jurisdiction ends at the water's edge, and you know it. After that, it's up to the fish and game people.
You don't think they'll stock the lake?
Stocking the lake's a pretty expensive proposition.
Well, maybe if you talk to them. Tell them about Andy.
I couldn't ask them to spend that kind of money if it isn't practical. Not even for Andy.
Well, they haven't said no for sure. Maybe they will stock it.
That's what Andy's hoping.
I'm sorry, Corey. I see now why you couldn't tell him.
Well, let's get back to work. We'll be here all night. Now, where were we?
Big Pine timber sale.
Did you send out all the bid requests?
Yeah, this morning.
Good. Let's check over these figures then.
Hi, Lassie. Sorry, girl. I guess for a minute I was someplace else. You smell fish on this? That's about all that's going into that lake from the state hatchery. I gotta go into town now. Tell that bank to forget about the loan. Gotta figure what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go. I don't mind telling you, I'm gonna miss this place.
got here, girl?
What do you think it means, all wet and crumpled up like this?
I haven't the slightest idea. There's no answer. Andy doesn't seem to be there.
What are you going to do?
There's not much I can do. The letter's very clear. The state isn't going to stock the lake. Regretfully. Will you two stop staring holes in me? I haven't got the authority to tell State Fish and Game how to run their department.
You mean you're going to stand by and let that poor old man lose everything?
Now, who's the one that wanted to take his use permit away and give it to somebody else?
A fella can change his mind, can't he?
It's been known to happen. If it can happen to you, who knows it could happen to somebody else. Let me have Scott Frazier, State Fish and
It's
Game.
a fully grown adult. It's stunted. So are all the rest of the trout we got at Paradise.
Any idea what causes it?
Have to send divers down to find out for sure. Could be carp or some other rough fish. Could be a weed problem. Could be most anything. The point is, stocking the lake would be a waste of time and a waste of money. Someday we'll make a thorough investigation and determine what should be done.
When?
What are you trying to do? Pin me to the wall?
If I can.
You've got enough work piled up here for a year. Maybe next spring.
That'll be too late.
My hands are tied. The Game Commission would want to know why I'm spending money to renovate a small lake with a rundown boat dock. If I told him it was because Corey Stewart bugged me about an old guy who leased the dock, the commissioners would have me scaled and filleted. Sorry, Corey. I wish I could help you, friend.
Well, if you can't help him, maybe you can help me.
What are you getting at?
Suppose the Forest Service built a big, beautiful campground at Paradise Lake, made it an important facility. Do you think you could get the commission's approval?
Can you do it?
We have a proposed campground and a multiple-use plan. Hadn't expected to build it this year, but with a little rearranging.
Well, maybe that's all I need. You rearrange your plan, and I'll work on the commission. Meanwhile, I'll give Paradise top priority and start it.
You stay here and don't worry, girl. We'll be all right.
Probably thought we were a couple of big fish.
Now, this is the only boat I'd trust. You take your life in your hands with the rest of them.
I'll say.
Where are we heading?
Let's try Long Point.
Okay, cast off. Check your air. Okay. Ready? Sorry. Sorry. What are you trying to tell me, girl?
Not a sign of him. I better get help.
Dried up old bones are like toothpicks. I don't seem to be able to find any kind of a break.
It's like it's busted in 1,000 splitters.
Probably a torn ligament. They usually hurt worse than the break anyhow. Feel any better?
Yeah.
What were you doing out there?
Looking for you. And I know you're in one of those diving rigs. Figured you'd drowned. Mr. Fraser, I guess I said some pretty unkind things to myself about you when I got your letter. I didn't know you were going to fish me out of the lake. I'm sorry for what I was thinking.
Forget it.
Thought for sure the lake had me for keeps. You want to know something? Even while I was thrashing around out there, I didn't mind too much. Just seemed like the lake wanted to keep me here. Somehow, some way.
You tell them, Scott.
Well, Mr. McGrew, we found an overabundance of carp. Rough fish, and they're ruining the lake. They're destroying the plants that the trout need for food. They're stirring up the silt, suffocating the trout. We'll have to get rid of the carp.
In other words, Andy, your lake doesn't need restocking.
Just good management. With the carp gone, the trout should hatch, develop, and grow naturally, just like they used to.
And while the lake is being reconditioned, I've agreed to put in a campground.
I don't have to go?
And you'll probably have no trouble getting that bank loan either.
And a campground, too?
You'll need a larger dock than the one you plan to put in. Oh, watch out for that leg.
Never mind. This is the best medicine a man could have.